You ever just have those series that just call your name? Andrew, Andrew, Andrew! Hey everyone, welcome back to Andrew's Wizard of Reads, and as always guys, I am Andrew. Today I got another video for you, but before we get to that video, make sure you're liking and subscribing, hitting that bell notification so you can get regular updates for when I put out new content. I post every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And that said guys, make sure you're checking the description box down below for the link to the Wizardly Duo Discord, as well as links to all my social media and information about my Patreon. And yeah, this is just a list of books that like, I'm constantly walking by them on the shelf, and they're just going, read me. Why haven't you read me? Read me. And I'm just like, I don't know when. Like, you know, these are just books and series that, like, I just walk by and they constantly turn my head. I think I've got 10 books/series here. Some were recommended to me. Some I've watched a ton of reviews and heard positive things about it. And yeah, so let's just get on into this list. But as we are getting into the list, let me know in the comments down below if you've got any series on your shelves that just constantly call your name. Alright, number 1. We've got The Baker's Boys by J.V. Jones. I've heard a lot about J.V. Jones and the Cavern of Black Ice series. I don't actually know what that series is called, but this is where it starts. The Book of Words. This is a Daryl K. Sweet cover, which always just calls to me. And this is very much coming of age, the hero story, all that good fun. I mean, just look at these guys in the back. Like, this is a trilogy. I know nothing about it. I know that, like, even though the covers look surprisingly, like, welcoming and warm classic fantasy, it's a pretty dark fantasy. Davy Jones, she tends to, like, write darker stories and darker fantasy. And I'm finding that while I like my classic fantasy, I also am discovering that I really like that mixed with those darker themes. So, J.V. Jones is constantly calling my name, and I just don't know. I know she's been on hiatus for a while, but she is working and writing again, looking to wrap up that Cavern of Black Ice series. So, yeah, we'll see what happens. Alright, next up is, of course, Barbara Hambly. I believe this is a quartet of which I only have the first 3. My buddy Kevin, I mistakenly said it was a trilogy, and my buddy Kevin piped up and was like, yeah, no, those are a quartet. So I stand corrected, Kevin. But, yes, this is Dragon's Bane. This is another classic fantasy. And the blurb, just to slay a dragon was nearly impossible to save a dragon. Ridiculous! Or was it? And, I mean, look at this. Like, it's just absolutely fantastic. I had to do a double take because I didn't know if she was dressed or not on the cover. But she is. It's just questionable. But, yeah, no, the man who slew a dragon. Like, slaying dragons sounds really cool. It's really classic covers. There is a Grimmoak release of this one. You can tell I got this at a bargain store, and so they like put the Sharpie on it, and I tried the rubbing alcohol and it didn't come off, which irritates me. So I might get the Grim Oak release of this. I don't know. We'll see how much I love it. But yeah, it's when the Black Dragon sees the deep of Ylferdun. Young Gareth braved the far winterlands to join John Averson, Dragon's Bane, the only living man ever to slay a dragon. That just sounds really, really cool. I think I heard about these from Brian Lee Durfee. So, yeah, no, Brian's got a lot, like, he's got a huge, massive library. Like, I know I have complaints, but, yeah, Brian Lee Durfee's library is life goals. That's all I can say. This one just sounds fun. Like, I constantly, like, read a lot of very serious, like the fantasy that's taking itself seriously. The only things that I do read that doesn't take itself super seriously is Discworld. But John Holland's The Dragon Lords is just, you're seriously not proposing we steal from a dragon? Yeah, that just sounds fun. It sounds like, you know, a good kind of eclectic cast of characters that's not trying to take itself too seriously. It's very much leaning into the humor that can be in a fantasy genre. And yeah, I just was flipping through and saw the word assholes. So that's interesting. But yeah, this sounds fantastic. I really wanna read this one now. Oh geez. And then the cover for book 2 on this one, which I now have pre-ordered, just got revealed. And that is the Duology. That is... what's the name of this Duology again? You know, you would think that I'd be paying attention, but I don't. Yeah, no, I don't know. Anyway, Steven Aaron has put out quite a few books, which I'm just now starting to collect. The first one I picked up was The Coward, where basically he, our main protagonist, is like the lone surviving member. He happened to just run away, but like all the people fought and like killed the demon, but because he was the only survivor, he was the only one to tell the tale, and so everybody just assumes he's a hero, and so he's called back out of retirement, only to realize that he is still a coward. So that always calls to me. Next up, this is probably the one that's going to get read the soonest, and that is The Last Watch by J.S. Dews. I'm probably going to be buddy reading this in March with a patron, the patron who bought it for me. It sounds really great. It's another one of those things where it's like gripping space opera debut, but it's like The Expanse meets Game of Thrones, which is kind of an interesting mix-up where you've taken the dregs of society and send them to deal with the apocalyptic, galaxy-ending issue on the edge of the galaxy, and that's kind of where it's pulling all that in. So it sounds really cool. I follow the author on Twitter, and I just absolutely cannot wait to get to this, hopefully next month. I'm noticing I've got like 3 or 4 sci-fi here, and then the rest is fantasy. A Big Ship at the Edge of the Universe by Alex White. This is the Salvagers. When I first picked this up, and then you can tell I picked it up used because of the cracked spine, because I don't crack my spines. But it says, do you miss Firefly? Do you want it back? Well, sorry, not going to happen. But this book is damn close. And that's coming from Nicholas Eames, who I have talked to, and he's a wonderful individual. I buy a lot of books, especially when I just see a Nicholas Eames blurb on it. But it was sold to me as like, hey, do you miss Firefly? Yes, I do. Give it back! So for that reason, like, it sounds a washed-up treasure hunter, a hotshot racer, and a deadly secret society. With a sci-fi element to it, yes, please, have some more. Thank you. Alright, and then this one was based off of a recommendation from my good buddy Patrick, from Patrick Leo. This is The Hand of the Sun King, a spellbinding debut with terrific characterization and immersive world building. My name is Win Elder. My name is Foolish Cur! That just sounds awesome. I'm noticing a theme of, like, humor and wittiness that really just draws the eye. I don't know when I'm going to get to this, but I think the sequel from JT Greathouse is getting ready to come out, I think, this year. So I'm super excited about that. And then it's got a blurb that I just noticed from Anthony Ryan, who I really enjoyed the Raven Shadow trilogy from. A captivating epic of conflicting loyalties and dangerous ambition from Anthony Ryan. That sounds fantastic. Alright, we've only got 4 more here, guys. This one is a recent acquisition, but it's just so cool. I get like Avatar The Last Airbender vibes and some Asian-inspired fantasy, which I've been harping on the channel that I am excited to get more of. That's the Initiate Brother Duology by Sean Russell. I have 3 of these bind-ups from Sean Russell. I've not read any of them, but I would seriously just want to get into this because the prose from what I've peeked in here looks really beautiful, and I'm really, really excited. It sounds like it's got plague, warfare, ancient kingdoms, very deep themes that I think would just be a very gripping read. If you have read this one, please let me know in the comments down below because I am dying to know more about this. I don't really know a lot of people who have read it. Alright, and then, should surprise nobody, I actually got this copy from my good friend Evie. I love Evie. Evie is probably one of the best and kindest people that I know on BookTube. And she was unhauling Dan Simmons' Hyperion and was kind enough to send it to me for, I think, just the cost of shipping. So, thank you, Evie. I've heard nothing but great things and how this is just, like, mind-blowing, like, Canterbury Tales, I think, style sci-fi, which just sounds absolutely awesome. I want to know what the Shrike is. And even if that question isn't answered in this entry, If I love this, I will continue. I know the sequels kind of like subvert expectations and things of that nature. So, yeah, I will definitely be getting to Hyperion. But this one just always calls me. It's like, read me. Why haven't you read Hyperion? It's a legend! I don't know. I don't know, guys. All right, 2 more. That is Joe Hill's Nosferatu. I kind of missed the ship on this one this year. I just hauled this one. Or I guess the haul just came out. I've had it for a couple months, but that haul was so massive I had to break it into parts. And this is like a Christmassy horror / vampire / Krampus style like story from the son of Stephen King. This is supposedly his best work. And I think this one's going to have to wait till Christmas. But yeah, no, I've heard nothing but good things. I know there's a like mini-series about this as well. It's supposed to also be very well. So I think that's what I'm going to be doing in December, is reading this bad boy and watching that TV show. So yeah. And then finally wrapping this up of just all the books I wish I could read and that they just call my name from my shelves and just hound me. My buddy Nico told me about Janny Wirtz forever ago. Like when I first met Nico, he was talking about Cycle of Fire. This is a bind-up of all 3 books. And oddly enough, I've just now got Janny Wirtz coming out of the wazoo. I've got to like Hell's Chasm or something on the way in the paperback edition to go sit next to this one that I haven't read. And then I've also wanting to, because I'm wrapping up Rift War Saga, The Daughter of the Empire is the next trilogy in that, with Raymond E. Feist and Janny Wirtz. And then I'm just, if I fall in love with that, because I've heard nothing but good things, again, from Petrick. And then Bryce also has had good things to say from Shelf Centered about Janny Wirtz. And it's all sorts of excitement, guys. So I really want to get to this. I know it's slow reading, dense, classic fantasy. That doesn't bother me, though. So that actually sounds really, really, really appealing. That said, guys, let me know, like I said at the beginning of the video, what books on your shelves constantly call your name? Read me! Please, let me know. With that weirdness out of the way, till next time, guys. Peace out. Stay magical. Bye. And as always, I want to give a huge thank you to my patrons.